It is a rainy, stormy, gross day outside. I do have a few errands to run for a gig on Sunday, but I am going to spend some time right now working on my reel. I've had this thing together for a while. It's actually posted on my YouTube channel, but I'm spending some time going back through it. I wasn't happy with all the things that I had in it, and I'm trying some stuff out. So I am absolutely by no means a colorist. But I am going through to try and touch up some stuff. And I find that when I'm color grading, I tend to overdo things, and I'm trying to make things a little bit more subtle. I watched a few reels actually that I was like super impressed by, and I was like, well, I'd love for my reel to look like that. So I'm going back through and I'm just gonna touch up some stuff and recolor and swap some clips out, all that stuff. So I want to be able to be really happy with my reel, and I know it's something that I'm going to continue to update. But yeah, I just wanted to spend some time going through it and again, retouching up some color stuff. In typical freelance videographer fashion, I have been at home the past just few days, besides a few errands and hanging out with my fiance. But other than that, I've literally just been at home doing side projects, working on finishing up some stuff, sending emails, having meetings. So it's been a pretty boring week. That's why you haven't heard from me on the vlog space. But it's Friday today, and I've got a gig on Sunday, and I've got a busy day tomorrow, not for work stuff, just hanging out. But yeah, so I'm going to also have a little bit of time today where I'm prepping for the shoot on Sunday. So I spent maybe 20 to 30 minutes, first of all, just watching my reel back, and then obviously going through it just to see if there was anything. So I swapped out a few clips and trimmed up some stuff and retouched some color and things like that. And I'm a little bit happier with it now. I don't know if I'll post it yet or if I'll wait to get a few more clips to post the updated version, just because it hasn't changed a ton. I mean, the last time I posted it was a couple months ago, but it'll come eventually. So as I'm looking at footage, I'm having some thoughts going. I have heard people say in the past that in critique of the Sony cinema line, specifically FX3, FX6, maybe the FX9, just Sony cameras in general, even the Alpha line with their video stuff. I have heard the critique that they are too clinical, too sharp. And that always confused me, because I don't know if it confused me as much as it just made me laugh, because I'm sure as time has gone on, technology has always led to let's make it better, let's improve. And I'm sure people looked at old cameras and were like, wow, I wish it could be this sharp, and so technology has led us to let's make the cameras sharper, make them cleaner, make it a more crispy picture, like all those things. I don't know if crispy is the right word, but it's funny to me now that it's gotten too far to the point where people are unhappy with how sharp it is, and they want to soften it a little bit. And low light performance has gotten so good that there's minimal to no grain, and noise reduction is so crazy capable. But there are, at the same time, are also people who will add grain back in. Again, I'm not critical of that at all. I think there's a beauty to the film look that people try to replicate with digital cameras, and I think there's a reason why people try to replicate it. It's because it's a pretty picture when there's soft light and there's soft edges and the blooming to the highlights and the roll-offs and all those things. I understand that. It's just funny to me. However, I'm starting to look at some of this Sony footage and understand what they're talking about, especially when I directly look at footage from like an RE, and then I look at like a Sony camera and I see what they're talking about. So something that I've been looking at, I'll show you guys real quick, are the black Pro Mist filters. And I'm looking at KNF Concept because I'm trying not to spend a ton of money right now, and this would be a cool entry-level option for me. I think they're like $30 on Amazon. But yeah, I've been looking at these Pro Mist filters and trying to see if it would be something that I'd be interested in. Because again, what it kind of does is it gives you that kind of softness on the highlights. So I'm looking at potentially picking up one of these. We'll see what happens, but yeah, some of my footage that I've been looking at is just, it has that sharpness. I think this is not a good example. This is a pretty soft, so you got a lot of softness in these areas, but this is pretty sharp. This is pretty just sharp and clean. Yeah, some of these images are just, that's drone, so that's not an answer, but yeah, some of these I'm just like, I wish they had a little bit more, you know, softness to them, I think. So, by the way, I am, again, editing my reel. If you would be interested in me doing a breakdown of this reel, I know David Moorfield did pretty much the same video, but he does a lot more documentary corporate work, and I am wanting to do more narrative creative film. So absolutely, I do corporate interview work as well. But if you'd be interested in seeing a breakdown of a more narratively geared reel, I'd love to do that. So maybe that'll be a video that I make and post within the next couple days. So I ended up buying the diffusion filter, the KNF concept. I'll put it right here on the side of the screen. The one I bought. It was like 30 bucks, so I'm gonna try it out. I bought the 1/4 strength as opposed to the 1/8. I know that's too strong for some people, but I'm gonna try it out, and if I decide I want an intermediate option of the 1/8, then I'll get that too. But yeah, I just want to try something up just to switch it up, just because, again, I'd be interested to see, and I'll do a separate video doing a side-by-side test of like before and after, and I'll, you know, flare it, and I'll do a whole like little video just testing out that filter probably next week, early next week. Be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I decided to buy the filter just because I'm interested to try out and see what it looks like. I'm now on my way to go pick up some gear for the shoot on Sunday. I have two cameras. I have an FX3 and I have a Sony, it's another Sony, it's an A6600. The problem is it does 8-bit color and it does not do S-Log3 very well. So, and just in general, I think the color matching will be better with an FX30. And my dad is actually a teacher at a high school, and he's teaching a video production class, and they've got a couple FX30s. So I'm on my way there to pick up an FX30, an extra tripod, just because my second tripod is also jank. I've got plenty of gear for single cam stuff, but I don't have a second nice like adjustable bullhead tripod or a fluid head or anything like that. And I don't, again, my B camera, when I'm editing myself, I'm totally comfortable to match I usually shoot S-Log2 with like it's like a Cine, I'd have to go look at the settings, but I'm usually comfortable when I'm editing myself matching the FX3 and the 6600, which again is S-Log3 10-bit versus S-Log2 with some kind of color gamut, 8-bit footage. But I'm just gonna go pick up an FX30 because I'm not editing this video myself that I'm shooting on Sunday. I'm sending it off to an external editor. So I just sent an email to him and he responded with details on how to shoot, just like specs wise. And so that way I want to make sure I'm delivering him exactly what he's looking for, and I'll be able to explain to him how easily the colors are going to be able to match. All right, so I think this is how we're going to have the camera set up, at least for the start of the day. Our wider shot is going to be our A cam, so I'm gonna have the FX3 get that, and the FX30 on the Sigma 70-200. Then when we move into the teaching portions, I'm actually gonna swap the lenses because I'm gonna go handheld with this camera, and this camera is gonna go a lot better handheld, and this will go on sticks on a wide shot. So I'll have to quickly switch lenses, but that shouldn't be a big problem. But yeah, this is gonna be our setup with the FX30 that I'm borrowing from my dad, and the FX3 fully rigged up and ready to go. I wanted to do a little bit of a location scout today, so I drove past where we're filming tomorrow, and I found out, Sunday, I found out that the basketball court that we're shooting on is actually outside. So that makes things a little bit more complicated. I'm gonna have to work and make sure ND filters are good to go. But yeah, I gotta figure out some extra things to make sure that's gonna work, because I mean, I have to make it work, but it's just as tricky with weather, because it is it's stormy. I don't know if you guys can see. I mean, literally 30 seconds ago the tree was like, so yeah, hopefully everything works out with the weather, because otherwise we might have to reschedule. The lights are flickering and my computer just turned off as well. So power is, I'm gonna see here. I want to see actually. I don't know if it'll focus past there, but it is not good weather at the moment. Oh, everything is getting wet. No, it's raining sideways. I just got water all over my computer and my watch and this. Whoops. So unfortunately, I'm gonna just have to not get some work done right now because of the inconsistent weather. I don't want my computer to get fried in case the power goes out or something bad happens. So I also think our Wi-Fi just went out, so that's fun. But yeah, so I'm just gonna hang out. I also just got an email. I got a few things. So the first thing is that there is an outdoor court and there's an indoor court. So we will be indoor, which is great. Love hearing that. The second thing is that I am going to shoot in 4K. I am going to shoot in S-Log. I talked to the editor, the guy I'd talked to initially, who told me that, you know, basically make it as easy as possible. 1080, Rec 709, was just not the editor, I guess. So he was just saying that the editors would prefer that, but then I talked to the editor and he said, you know, 4K, 30, S-Log 3. So check with your editors. If you're not the one editing the project, check with your editors and make sure that you're confirming exactly what they're looking for. They'll be very thankful for it. And then I'll show you one other thing that I'm going to do for this shoot. So I bought these the other day. I bought 4 packs of them off of Amazon, and then I took a knife and did this. Where is it? This right here. So cut them open, and the reason for this is that I'm gonna put the C-stands on tennis balls, and that way I don't have to worry about scuffing up the floor, which is going to be very helpful, and I'm hopeful that it will be seen as a nice, a nice thing for me to do to protect the floor. So that's pretty much it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed getting a somewhat realistic look into sometimes what it's like as a freelancer. Sometimes you are home, and I've been home for the past like 3 or 4 days, just kind of hanging out, tinkering and finishing up some projects. So sometimes that's the life. Sometimes I'm working 6 days a week, 7 days a week. So hopefully you got some insight on the freelance life a little bit. I'm gonna chill while the weather is still going crazy out there, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for hanging out with me today.